Hey guys. Okay, so I ordered from Sonia Levia uh on eBay. I actually just opened this. This week was actually kind of like Christmas. I ordered a bunch of stuff. I ordered that. I can show you the other stuff I ordered. So this was actually in that envelope. And I'm sure everybody's so familiar with Smash Up. So we're just gonna open this. Pretty basic. Of course, it's gonna come with the instruction manual. We already know the instructions, how that works, how the game works. You fight for bases. Um, you fight, and then you get whoever gets 15 points wins. If you guys tie, then the first person break the tie wins. Um, Sometimes the cards will actually contradict the rules, and according to the rules, the card overrides the rules. Um, so for those of you who don't know, this is the basic set for Smash Up. All right. In this set, you're gonna have your basic cards, and it's also gonna have a nice little card holder in it. So I'll open this up just to show you for those of you who aren't familiar. So again, instruction book, yeah, bigger than the one that comes with this expansion. Again, this is an expansion, so they have they have way too many expansions for me to tell you. But um, this is how it will look. Hold on. I don't want the cards to fall out. So that is your little case. That's gonna hold all your cards, and I'm gonna drop all the cards, whatever. This comes with wizards, dinos. You got gnomes, ninjas, pirates, aliens, and you have robots. Brief summary over all of them. Aliens can return. They do a lot of base. A lot. They have a lot of cards that affect bases, while your dinos have a very big have a lot of cards that have to do with powering up. Wizards are about draw power, extra actions, and summoning extra minions. Pirates are again more of a base effector, but um, the way they affect bases are a little different. They blow up things that are on a specific base. And when a base is scored, they can actually move from one base to another. Ninjas, on the other hand, uh, they're very base oriented. They have cards that stop your opponent from cards that allow you to actually play a ninja from your hand or destroy a minion. They're not that card is actually not limited to power, whereas most cards are limited by power. With aliens, for instance, they can only destroy a creature of two or less. Dinos are like three or less, something like that. Gnomes return and move your opponent's monsters around. Zombies drop to the graveyard, bring them back. My favorite card from zombies actually is um, Tenacious Z. Tenacious Z, when he's in the graveyard, you can actually play him from your graveyard, and they actually have one card that actually allows you to play minions from your graveyard instead of from your hand. So that's the brief summary of the main thing that you have to get first before you get any of these expansion packs. I'm pretty sure you could probably get the expansion packs first, but yeah, well, no, you can't because you would only get these factions. You have to get that main set first because that's also going to hold all your cards, and that's going to give you some bases to actually start the game. So in this expansion, awesome level 9,000, we see something new here. They're implementing counters. So we got some counters in there. Next, we have a new faction. They're actually killer bears. So as you can see, I didn't open them yet. I will open it for you guys. But for now, I'm gonna show you guys some stuff. So then we have killer plants. Um, Engineers, I guess. I could check actually. You know, it's funny. I actually totally forgot. Um, so in these little manuals, uh, they will actually tell you what um, factions are included in the deck in the set that you buy. So For instance, oh, so these guys are called steampunks, and this one is ghosts. So with each faction, as you probably noticed, the faction is on the bottom left corner, right there. So we have that. So far, I'd say the most coolest looking one out of the bunch. Well, they're all looking pretty cool, but I mean the killer plants look pretty sick. I actually want to try them. Uh, I'm actually gonna bring this with me every week to there's a group I'm part of on Meetup. For those of you guys who live on Long Island, it's called like tabletop. Well, we meet. It's easy to find on Meetup. It's like Long Island Tabletop, something like that. We meet up at 1600 in Smithtown Presbyterian Hospital. They let us borrow the room. We actually rent the room out from them. So, brief overview. Okay, so far, from what I'm getting from this deck, just by looking at certain cards, even though they totally mixed up some of these cards because steampunk should probably be together, not with what the heck? So this is what I'm getting from just this brief overview. So you can't move. So they stop people from actually playing, from moving characters. So this would actually be a good deck to play against pirates if you have someone playing pirates. Extra minion, 3 extra minions. Play, destroy a minion. So yeah, these guys are actually basically an all-around group. The whole killer plant idea is actually pretty cool. They're an all-around group from what I gather. They because I saw a bunch of cards that allow you to play extra minions. While also, hold on. Okay, so where was I? Oh, yes. So yeah, that's their thing. They mainly just bring in extra minions. So they're swarm, while also they have a one card that actually reduces I just saw it. Reduces 1 power, and you can actually keep they actually have a couple cards that reduce the power. You could actually reduce it all the way down to 0. So basically you could brick the person's monster, and it's ongoing. So that's actually pretty cool and helpful idea, especially if someone's running pirates. I am planning on getting all the expansion packs. There is one expansion pack that because usually you have to get these like separately. There's one. It's called a bigger, geekier box, and I'll do a review on that later when I get it. It actually has a couple factions in it that you usually would have to buy separately. Okay, so you don't. Oh, you do get bases in here, and annoyingly, there. Okay, so some new bases that are in this set are, and this is kind of weird only because I don't think they were actually supposed to put these in there. Or whatever. Okay. I guess I will put these aside for now because those are all new. So new bases you're gonna get: Tsar's Palace, Field of Honor, Haunted House, the Dread Gazebo, the Greenhouse, Secret Grove, Inventor's Shop, Salon, and Workshop. So those are some new ones. For some reason, they included copies of the original of the bases you're going to get in the other one. So apparently you can get bases here. I was not expecting that. That was kind of like a curveball. And as for the steampunks, Any minions here are destroyed, place them into your hand. Okay, so they're more about, so this, as for the steampunks, they're more like uh destroying, you can destroy people's creatures without the limitation of power. Um and also when your creatures are actually destroyed, their stuff is mostly ongoing, so when your creatures would be destroyed, they would actually go to your hand instead of them going to the discard pile, which is actually very helpful for you. Especially when you're fighting pirates. Again, pirates really destroy. Um, they can get clunky. That's the problem with them. They're very clunky. Um, I don't know if you guys have had that problem. Whoever's played, leave a comment, drop a comment below. Let me know what your experience is with the pirates. I felt that they're clunky and they need the wizards. That's my experience, my friend's experience. All right, moving on. So we have theirs. Um, After another player moves, player's minions move. Player's minion moves here. If it has less power than this minion, destroy it. So that's Cub Scout. Bear Cavalry, move another player's minion from here. So Cub Scout's going to be your main guy, and from what I'm gathering, he's your main guy in his deck. Um, and because of the fact that you can actually, after another player's minion is moved there wherever he is, whichever base, if it has less power than him, it actually would be destroyed. So he has a 3, but if you couple him with dinosaurs, you can boost them up to a 12, and then basically anything they would put on the base he's actually on would be destroyed. So that's actually a one way to do it. They have a couple things to allow them to play extra minions, and if you have a minion here, destroy any other player's minion. So that's another one, high ground that they have. So again, mostly destroying minions, but at the same time, they're not just focused on destroying minions. And they are focused on destroying minions, but they are also focused on moving the minions to your enemy's minions, so that way you can actually use your effects appropriately, which is not something we see with other decks. Usually, it's I'll give you an example. Gnomes, they just move. They just move your opponent's stuff. They'll return your opponent's stuff to their hand. Um, they'll draw occasionally, but that's about it. Pirates will destroy, but they will. The only thing they're ever moving really is more of their stuff than their opponents. I think they have like 1 or 2 cards that allow them to move their opponents, but again, that's about it. So that's, interestingly enough, a very good combo um, that we don't see in the starter pack. And next we have ghosts. So we have choose a minion. You may discard cards equal to its power to destroy it. So this would actually be a good deck to run with zombies, because you're discarding, and zombies actually are actually most effective when they're in the graveyard, when they're in your discard pile. You guys get that if you play Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I played Yu-Gi-Oh once upon a time, not anymore. Another swarm deck. Place any number of minions with that name from your discard pile into your hand. So we're adding it to our hand. If you have 2 or fewer cards in your hand, you can draw 5. So they have the draw power. So you can actually couple these with zombies, because zombies get rid of your hand, and then these guys can add the cards that you need. Zombies also discard stuff from your deck, so that's also another plus. Yeah, and that's about it. So again, we're just gonna take this. So that's that, and then this is all you're just gonna do. You're just gonna take these bad boys. I'm just gonna put them right there. So it's a very awesome game to play. Great game. The reason why they have 2 boxes. They call one is called the Big Geeky Box. The other one's called the Bigger Geekier Box. The reason why it's called that is because they just felt like naming it that. But the reason why you're gonna want to get the Bigger Geekier Box as opposed to the Big Geeky Box is because the Bigger Geekier Box actually contains more stuff, as well as a bigger set. It's it contains, let me see, the big geeky box actually contains like 1 or 2 rows extra than this one, while the bigger geekier box contains about 3 to 4 extra spaces. So that actually is enough to hold all the expansions, and there's actually a lot of expansions. So the big geeky box will not fit that, and you're definitely not. You could keep this, but you're not gonna be using it once you get this, because especially if you're gonna start with the actual starter set and then work on the expansions, you're not gonna want that, because as you can see, there's a lot of them. I probably have room for 1 more expansion in that box, so I actually have to. So basically, you're gonna get the starter pack, and then you're gonna get 1 or 2 expansions, and then you're gonna have to get the big geeky box or the bigger geekier box. My suggestion: spend a little more, get the bigger geekier box. You can go on eBay and get it like $30 something, $40, and then work on the rest of the expansion packs. Just because I'm telling you, there are a lot. So hit the subscribe button, like it, comments below, questions, comments, anything. If you want to see me do a video of playing this game or with the expansions, I can actually do that. And I also do a lot of other things, video games, game apps. I have one for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I can do one for Marvel Future Fight, etc. If I don't know the answer or the question, I will let you know, but usually I do. Also, I do Magic the Gathering. Oh, while we're on that topic, so recently I had gotten Sorin, and I got who is actually a very good planeswalker, especially if you're running a vampire deck. Because of Sorin's good power. I also got Kiora. She's another one. This is actually a mat that I got in the mail, custom made. So yeah, Sorin's a great planeswalker. I got who's the other one? I got Kiora. She's really good, especially if you're running a multicolored deck. One of my decks I actually run multicolored, so it actually has like a bunch of different manas, but actually just a bunch of lands that can produce different manas and stuff. I have a soldier deck, so I got I'm working on getting Garruk for that. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, questions, comments, drop them below, and love to hear from you guys. Bye.